30, 40 degrees. I don't know what the hell degrees it is. Just started snowing again. It's been raining all morning, so can't go riding today. So we got to work on some machinery. This machine here, it's got a rattling noise coming from the primary clutch. Don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not. We'll try it. Where this one does not have the noise. Me and upholstery guy have been running match sets of Arctic Cat since the early 80s or 90s, just to make troubleshooting easier, especially with electrical stuff. You got a part off the other machine you can try, and even when it comes time to sell one or trade one in, you can take the good body panels off the one, put them on the other, make one look better than the other, get a little bit more money. A lot of good reasons for that, doing that. That one runs nice. I do believe the source of the noise is coming from the play between the movable shiv and the spider buttons. But I don't know. We're going to take the clutch off and run it, make sure that's noise is definitely coming from the clutch. Can't find much information on the internet. These are 2016s, and they no longer use these clutches for probably a good reason. They're supposed to be great clutches. When we bought the machines, we bought this model year instead of buying leftovers because they had these team clutches and they were supposed to be the greatest shit. I've never had a problem like this with any old Arctic Cat or Comet clutch so far, but we'll get into it and see what the heck's causing rattling. Probably some stupid shit I'm done. Okay, so we're going to pull this clutch off and take a look at it. Tools you need to do that are this little key. That's going to back the belt off to take the belt off. You should know how to use that. You're going to need a Torx head bit according to whatever size that is. I believe this is a T60. Need a clutch holding tool or a broom handle or something to jam in the clutch to hold it. You need a clutch puller, which is basically a special tool to pull the clutch off. Got to have them for your clutch. This is a metric one. Looks just like a normal one, but it's got metric threads. Not to be confused. You'll screw up your clutch if you screw the wrong one in there. And an impact or some other way of turning the clutch tool and a hammer to tap the end of the clutch tool if it doesn't want to pop off. So let's try to get that off. See, this is where I have such a problem with this guy. Instead of getting off his dead ass and go getting a little something to give him some more leverage on that little wrench, he's going to struggle with it and not going to be able to get the clutches spread far enough apart, and then struggle getting the bell out because he's too fat and lazy to get off his dead ass and go get a tool to help himself. Watch him. Now he's on two hands. Oh, now he thinks he's got enough, just barely enough if he really pries hard and screws the belt up trying to get it off. What a jackass. There's the belt. Then you take this, so screw in here. Okay, he's got it off there. Now he's got to try to get it out of there. He doesn't know enough. He's got to take the clutch puller out of the clutch because the end of the clutch puller is stuck into the crankshaft. So he's going to pry on this, going to spin it a little bit. He's going to yank on it some more. And he's going to finally figure out, well, let's try taking this out. Yep, let's get that out of there and try it again. Oh, let's check that. No, that's really not going to help at all. Oh, look at that. It fell right out. Yep. Now let's start it up just to make sure it don't make no noise now. Okay, I'd say the noise went away. The only thing I found in my research so far is any old Arctic Cat one, you put the bolt in so that as it's going around, hopefully force holds the bolt in. I did it this way, but this one he shows in any book or any paperwork I found shows the bolt going in from this direction. I would not think that has a bit of difference, but we're going to change that and correct that when we're done, but hopefully that's stupid simple. Okay, we got the cover and stuff off there. We got it in our little bit of a clutch holder, which is just a piece of angle iron with some holes drilled in it to match up the ring gear if it was electric start. We clamp that in a vise, and we got to take that nut off and this spider off, which is sometimes easier said than done. It's going to need a heat and a lot of swearing more than likely. So let's take. Okay, so he's going to remove the spider now. So you got to heat up the jam nut on top of the spider. And just like any good bacon show, we've already cooked this bread. We've already heated these up and loosened this up off film. So it takes quite a bit of heat because there's Loctite in there. Oh, look at this guy. He's quite an actor too, making it look like it's tight. So there's a lot of Loctite in there. You got to soften up the Loctite so this stuff will back off. So there comes the jam nut. And now you got to heat up the spider. And I've had to heat these spiders up so hot sometimes that they start melting the plastic slider buttons and stuff like that. But if you're having to take that off, you got bigger problems than melting slider buttons. You got bad rollers or something else. So big old breaker bar, a special homemade tool. We've made a couple of these tools. This one hasn't really been proven out yet too much. We broke this one loose with it, but and then once it's broke loose, you just spin it apart. And then there's a washer in there that sets your belt width. These run an 1 3/8 belt, I'm pretty sure. And there's clutches disassembled. Okay, so we got to make something better to get them out instead of being a monkey fucking a football. Okay, we got this little jig made up. What this is going to do is going to hold our spider in place while we put our roller kit in there, instead of trying to prop it up off a socket and some other crap. So we'll see how that works. Probably a big failure, but stand by. Wait for that. Okay, we got our button and pin roller kit from Fett Brothers Performance. It's supposed to be here yesterday, but our U.S. mail failed me. Wait till Trump gets a hold of you bastards. You're gonna have a sad day too. Okay, so I don't know if this is right or wrong, but you got to have one of these rollers and two of these shims, and then they rotate around this pin. Now when I put this stuff in here, it doesn't really fit in there too good. Got one shim in there, and I can't really get the other shim in there. Shim won't go in there, so the roller's not going to turn, so that's going to be no good. We already don't want to put flat spots on our brand new roller kit. So what I do, I get this out without breaking it. So I'll take and sand down this roller a little bit, shorten this up. I was measuring them, they're about 3 thousandths longer than the ones I took out of there. So I'm just going to buff them up on a sander, shorten them up a little bit. Alright, that should be way better now. So what he's doing here, he's got a pin that's machined down a few thousandths smaller than the other pin, so that easily slides through. So that one's an alignment pin. Get everything lined up properly, and then the press-in pin just pushes the alignment pin out and takes the place of the alignment pin and just makes everything easier. You don't wreck any parts. So how the little jig works is the alignment pin will get pushed out as you push the press pin in, and the alignment pin falls into the little pipe that is basically the support for the spider when you're pressing the press pin in, if that makes any sense. Doesn't sound like it does to me, but I think it might. Double check, make sure our roller turns, and it does. And then we gotta go do that to the other one. Okay, we got the spider all screwed on there. Got some Loctite on there. This seems to work pretty good. I'm not gonna file the buttons at all. I think that's gonna return without an issue, I hope. We put the spring on it, it seemed like it was gonna work good. So we'll put the lock nut on it. Put the spring on it, put the cover on it, let it sit for a while. Let the Loctite do its thing. We got the clutch back on, got the belt back on. Let's fire it up, see if she makes any new noises, and hopefully the old noise is gone. Oh yeah! I don't hear the engine knocking anymore. aggressive winter. Alright. I guess we're done with that.